justice me.
Money in the way for what they got to say. I throw it up, it's falling down, it's definitely in the way.
All right, welcome back, guys. Another episode of the Chart Talk with Jake and myself. We're going to be going over the market outlook, member ideas, good trade, bad trade, as well as our best ideas for the week ahead. If you're watching still, drop us a little thumbs up. Shake, you want to get into the market outlook?
Yeah, let's jump right into it. And as we were talking about on the side, there's just so much news going on, and it's an absolute chop fest right now. It's really hard to take a macro outlook because there's so much ever-changing news. So I'm really shrinking my time frame. And taking it day by day and really just getting in and out of trades. I don't have any big macro ideas right now or anything like that. This is just like survival mode. This market where it's this morning a China deal, 20 minutes later no deal. So it's like the same shit back and forth. And I feel like this news market is gonna sustain for a little bit. So what I'm doing is really shrinking my time frame and remaining flexible in my long and short ideas. That's really it. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think we've been trying to focus so hard on like this being a breakout market when we're just clearly kind of range bound.
Yeah.
And again, we always focus top right, strong breakout names. But when you're not in that environment, it's hard to get that follow through.
Right.
So I think now it's just us trying to find more of those kind of support buybacks and just being a little more nimble and more patient than just trying to press it every single day, which I think for the most part we've been doing pretty good with.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, so that being said, we can definitely jump into some of the member ideas.
Yeah.
First, we got David Taylor looking at FTNT through 79.80.
To the long side, that's an interesting idea. I mean, it has a nice hammer on the weekly. We were thinking it was going to break down a lot harder than it did when it just broke down. So I think that one could go either way. I'm not really sure on that one, but it's a nice spot to look for a long where it didn't break down on that obvious support level. So that could be one of those nice support buybacks that we're looking for.
Yeah. Let's see. Next up, we got Tom Van Meter. He cannot get rid of this ALGM. He is still hawking this thing to 190.
Well, when it goes, he's going to be in it.
Yeah, he better be.
This is just like that WDC that he crushed, and that Ulta, I guess, is a little bit similar. Huge support level on the weekly. Decent little base. This isn't a name that I'm going to particularly trade, but I see the setup. It's definitely there. So for him, definitely like it.
Yeah, and even with that Ulta really quickly, I know Connor did really well with this trade, and this is we bought through 230, pretty much just kind of trailed it, and he ended up getting stopped out like a little bit under 260, like 255. And we were talking, he's like, he was trailing like low a day and then prior low a day. And when I was talking to him, I'm like, look, this thing just ran, 40 points in 4 days. Like once this move does turn, it's not going to just respect that prior low day. Like just keep that stop tight. Like don't give the money back. And now it's like we can probably buy 230 again in a couple of days. But he did really well with that.
No, let me jump in. And the thing what you did really well without you even realizing, telling him the trade is counter trend. You have all this overhead supply. So when you get that huge pop like it did in Ulta, where it ran like 30 or 40 bucks, you got to be taken off into strength and keep that stop tight because you see, when the market catches up to it, the type of action that comes after.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Next up, we got Valentino, TTC through 73.74. Industrial name. We zoom out.
Yeah, this is on the chart talk from maybe last week or a couple weeks ago. Definitely a really sick level on the weekly. That's 74. If it gives nice consolidation, but as we were saying, it's like it's not a huge breakout market. I'm not going to be salivating when this one's setting up. But this is the set. It's one you want to watch for and see how it sets up on the daily. And then when it sets up on the daily, we'll talk about it when it gets there. But right now, it's not a time for just like blindly buying these setups,
Let's see. Next up, we got Joe DeFrank. Similar thing. Again, we got this Mondelez MDLZ through 56. Flagging top right, all-time highs. But similar story. It's
Right. It's a lot more difficult to capture these trades in this environment because you have to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to talk about that in my good trade, bad trade, where it's a lot more difficult to be perfect in this environment. So yeah, through 56. I mean, that's a nice upper level base, that MDLZ. So I mean, I like that one. That one looks that one could be ready to go in a few days. Closed week, and the market closed week, so I'm thinking we get some more downside. So that makes me think we don't see it for a couple days or more, but I'll keep this one on the radar. We'll see how it sets up.
That's all. He also look at this RP, which we've been watching for God knows how long.
Yeah.
He was looking at to kind of sneak in down here above 63 versus 60 versus where we've been trying to just buy that 66. So this is kind of a little bit, trying to buying it up off support.
Yeah, I don't mind that. That's more of a support buy. So, off the inside day, that one could work out.
Next up, we got Daniel looking at this BCE through 49.
Yeah, this is did you zoom out on this?
Yeah.
It's like a ridiculous macro technical chart. The only thing that's a big turnoff to me is the run from 39 to 49 that it's had is pretty steep.
Mm-hmm.
I like the bull flag it's developing. If it could give me a couple more weeks, then I'd be more interested. But I'm not super excited about that one. I do like the level, maybe in better circumstances. I saw one this weekend though. It's like a really nice level, but I'm not. I don't expect the market to take this one to 59 anytime soon.
Yeah, it's also a telecom sector, so it's not like the spiciest sector. But
Right.
Verizon is very similar to this BC, like just flagging all-time highs, very macro level. But again, these names aren't like the momentum breakout names that maybe you're more accustomed to trading. This is more like those boring names that it's like buying the Intel or buying the Bank of America. They're not going to move as drastic. This thing did rip this past year pretty decently, but just got another name. Let's see. Next, we got Nicholas, HFC through 54 half. 55.
I think I need a little more consolidation right now in the daily, but that's just okay for me. In this market, that one's a pass where it's just not a great setup. I only want to take things I'm really confident in. I want to cut out anything that could be deemed as not a great setup, and that's because you really want to cut out all your losers because there's just so much chop going on right now.
And especially just the sector that it's in, energy has been, super weak lately. You saw it like that Saudi Aramco news, like just the less you could be in that space, the better. Let's see. Next up, we got T Fresh. He's looking at this SP through 38, another industrial name.
Ooh, that one looks nice. That's the volume on that name. Very thin name. It only did 71,000 shares. My sweet spot is definitely a name averaging around 300, 400,000 shares. So it's a bit thin. You could tell this name moves though just by looking at the daily chart. I guess it only moved about 50 cents today, but it has these wide days like back in August where it's up and down $5, something like that. It'll clue me in to buy in that stock. I like that 38 level. I'll keep an eye on that one.
Nice. And then a little bit of a safer name. We have this Target, this TGT, little earnings flag. He's looking at 110.
Just not in this environment. I don't want to buy that 110. If it gives me like 4 more weeks of consolidation where all those moving averages catch up, then absolutely. But right now, I feel like these super top right bull flags might need some market help to really keep gaining. And I don't want to be. That's not where I want to be right now.
Yeah, especially because it's so you're buying 110 versus 104. You're giving it $6. It's like it's hard to expect 20, 30 points of
right. No, and it's like in the market like a year and a half ago, like we would have been all over that trade because they were working out so well. But now that we're seeing these trades not work out as well, it's like you kind of got to really crack down on that watch list, really slim down on it.
Yeah. Let's see. Next up, it's kind of similar. We have this is Joe Wickman. He's looking at his MODN through 29 versus 27. Tech names, where somewhat decent IP up, actually not really. It's a couple of years.
I do. I mean, that's not bad. That's okay. I mean, that's consolidated for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. If we can get to like 10 weeks, I really want to see these moving averages catch up to buy these things. But it's just like I'm not excited about breakouts right now.
Yeah. That's something where it's like we can get it kind of pull back in a little bit. We get, here you're still risking $2. It's like we can risk maybe like $1 in it and be the right amount of room, then it might be something.
If you come down and see it hold that 27 and then look for an entry where it becomes a support entry instead of a breakout buy, that's a much more higher probability trade. That's something I'd be more interested in this current setting.
So, I mean, that wraps up the number of ideas for the week.
Nice.
I think we can jump into. We're going to good trade batch. I know that you did a little bit more on your trade this week, so
Yeah.
I'll briefly just go over mine. And again, it's kind of reiterating the overall message that we've been talking about. The two trades, which is this HUBG. We're buying through 47. This is a name I'm still in. The main thing with this and the next trade, we're just kind of giving them like a couple days to kind of set up and like not getting shaken out of the trade, where a lot of times like we'll get stopped out and then we'll have, a couple days later we're buying like the same level back. So this was kind of a name where I bought 47. That one day had like a pretty down day. I think it was like Wednesday, where it dropped like $2, and I'm like, I know I have to just give this name like a day or two to kind of push out and shake everyone out. And it held, and now it's right back, above that entry. So now it's just, it shook everyone out and just kind of giving itself like the time it needs. And same with this PFPT, same thing. We're buying that breakout through 130. But we're just, coming to this realization these breakouts aren't really the move right now, where it's, we got to focus on trying to pick up stock, a little bit off support. And these are two clues where I didn't lose money in either. I'm still in both of them. But that was kind of like that red flashing alert. Like, okay, these trades really aren't working as well. These breakouts that, you got to go back to the drawing board and find some better names off support. And like for right now, there's two names. This DRI, we were trading this up in the high 120s earlier this year, but now down here, like above 117, I can buy some and risk like $2 and get it off support versus trying to buy, that breakout of 124 and be perfect with it. So that's something where I'm trying to find the setups like this, and also like this INCY. Same thing, it's down near support, 72 versus 76. I'd much rather be buying up to 76 versus 72 than trying to buy, the 85 or like 87 breakout. So that was kind of the overall lesson from
Right.
this.
No, I couldn't agree more. That was a great recap. And I think, the overall theme is right now is to be very picky and very selective. We're seeing new guys come in. I mean, at least I'm seeing on my end, people I'm talking to privately, where it's like they just keep trying these breakout setups over and over and over again, not making any adjustments, and they're just getting madder and more frustrated and just not making the proper adjustment. It's like, well, that's not working. You got to look at the trades you're taking and, the market environment you're in. And if it's not working, you got to make adjustments. Maybe look for the support buys instead of breakouts. Everything you just said. So I like that little recap. So all right, I'm gonna jump in. I'll take the screen over above my. All right, so good trade, bad trade. I was pretty active last week, so I got a good amount to talk about. So we came into last Monday with the market looking like this, and then we had a pretty quiet window dressing last day of the quarter, and that's when things really got interesting. So at this point, we see this big area, this 295, 296 area, 294, 295, and then we were failing this like 298 area. So we're in this mini tight little range here. Above this 298 area, you probably get a pop. Below it, you probably get a flush. Keep it most simply. So I had shorts and longs on the mind, and then we saw a drastic down day where we pushed that 298 upwards, and then we flushed really hard on a bad ISM manufacturing number. So something I did well that day. There's PCTY. It was I had this looking at this one short coming into the week. Just one of these names, one of these software names, been on a crazy run. Now it's starting to look a bit toppy. So I'm looking at this support area right here, and I love this inside day right here. You can't. That's like it looks like a great entry to me. Below this area, so 15-minute. Where we at? So you see the trend line. It goes right off the open, and I let it go without me. It was trading very thinly, and then I shorted it when I get another opportunity later. I cover some, into some weakness, but this never really broke down on me. More of a cash flow trade, and that day as well. I was shorting this AVGO. Here's the daily, and it's tough. There's no moving averages, but it's trading under. It's moving averages. Very weak name. So it's got, this huge trend line support right here. So I'm thinking, it gaps down, makes a market below. All the moving averages are clustered right here. I'll show you on the daily right here. All right, so here's the daily chart. With all the moving averages. You can see all the moving averages clustered above, acting as resistance. So I'm looking at a short below this area. And that's what I do the following day. And here's what I did well in this trade. You know, I shorted off the open, and I have my stop just high of days. I didn't really get that huge drastic weakness, so not enough for me to cover. It rallies a bit, but holds high of day. It gives me another shorting opportunity, and I short there, and I cover that more quickly. But that was really it for the trade. Never really gave me that feisty breakdown. As you can see, it broke up. And let's talk. And now here's my mistake for the week. So let's go back to the SPY daily chart, and those shorts are after these two days. So now I'm looking at this trend line support right here, and I'm thinking after 2 drastic days down, it's much more likely we get a pop in the market, and it's more of a buying day because it's really difficult to short on a 3rd dramatic day down. You're very late to the trade, and if things were weak, they likely already broke down. So, you know, I'm not looking to short after this. I feel like that's a rookie move. So I'm looking to get long, but I'm still keeping open-minded because it's a very headline-driven news market, all that. So this BZUN, I was shorting the hell out of all week. Let's look at the daily chart. All right, so it's got this massive trend line support right here. That's what I'm looking at. And the other name, that's another e-commerce Chinese name, was this Baba. And this one looked so good, and then news started coming out, and it started getting absolutely smoked. Shouts out to Adam Rav, he nailed this name. So I'm thinking BZUN, another Chinese e-commerce name, you know, bear flagging at a major support level. I want to get short this name if it breaks this. So I'm working into a position all week. And then here's the major mistake I make. Okay? So after that 2nd day down, I'm still a little bit, you know, who knows what's going to happen in the market. Let's go back to the SPY. Let's go back to the daily chart. So this is after these 2 days. All right? Let's go intraday. So I'm thinking, and after these 2 days, I'm liking this coupe long. I really like this coupe long, as it was. So this is after the two horrible down days. This stock looks so good. It's holding the support line, holding this 100-day simple moving averages, tight little inside day. Buyers are ever present. So this is what we're looking to get long, and I was looking to get short this BZUN if the market wanted to be dramatic. So what's the market do? It capitulation low. It fakes the shit out of me. So Tuesday we sell off on an ISM manufacturing number this day, and then Wednesday. No, this is Thursday. Excuse me. Here is that trend line I was pointing to before, that the market I was looking at. So then here's the following day. An ISM non-manufacturing number comes out, and it causes a huge flush in the market right away. So, you know, I'm thinking very short term, and I get super short this BZUN. This is when I go from like 700, 800 shares to 5,000 shares. When I see that downward market action, confirming my thesis, or at the time, you know, what I was thinking to confirm my thesis, that was the time for me to hit it. But I was biased in this position. I was thinking short. I was thinking about the Alibaba chart, how it broke down. My problem was I saw buyers in this name, and you could see the big prints. You could see the big prints throughout the day on the 5-minute chart. So I'm seeing these buyers, but I'm not seeing the stock move anywhere. And thin name like this, when the buyers, when you see these huge orders come in, usually you're going to see the stock move in some way. So my thinking is there are some sneaky sellers in this name because they don't want to show their position, but they're just swallowing up these buys, you know, these huge bids. So when I see these and then I see them fall, when I see them not continue to be there, I start really getting short. You know, it pops, we sink, I get short. And then the market reverses on the capitulation low. And I got shaken out of this coupe. I bought some off the open, and here's my crazy big mistake, is not looking to buy it back. This is all the while, this is when SPY is doing this move. This is the low right here. I'm hitting more short because I'm biased in my position. And now I have a long I'm looking at this coupe. Oh. And I get quickly shaken out, but I don't look to buy it back. And I'm looking at that 135 area. I would have bought some against this 132, whatever it was. And I missed out on a 20-point move. I missed out on a huge, what is going on? Look at this. 135, stop 132. It ran all the way to almost 155. So that was my major mistake of the week. Was keeping my bias in that BZUN and getting super, super short, and then not reacting quickly enough when the market was telling me I was wrong and that it was the bottom. Because I was thinking that going in, but I didn't act on it because I had that bias. And then today, I just traded this win short. I did really well with it. Quicker trade. Let's see, I got my executions up. So this win. I've been watching this one. It's got this little bear flag right here. Weak ass name. Can't bounce with the market Thursday and Friday. Market is absolutely raging. This can't bounce. So I'm thinking this one's short off the open. I'm going to hit it off the open. I'm going to look to cover decently quickly. And that's what I did, as you can see. Market opens 931. I hit 1,000 short, 107.43. And then Friday's low is at 107.20. So I just had a sell stop there for that. So this first 107.43, I'm giving to this 109 area. I saw some resistance there Friday. And then once I get this trade to trigger through 107.15, I'm moving that stop to high of day. So my average price is 107.28. My stop 107.86, not even 60 cents. And I'm covering all these for over $2. I made $4,200 in the trade. It was about 5, 10, 15 minutes. And people will misconstrue that this trade. I made $4,200 in 15 minutes. No, I didn't. I was working Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday watching this name. I don't have the confidence to hit this short and cover it wherever I do if I don't watch it and get the information necessary out of these days. So that's the part of trading that you don't really hear about, where I only am confident enough to do this, to hit 2,000 shares short on 60 cents risk and a $100 name because I've been watching it the past week. So I know that if this 107 level breaks, it's going to break hard. Probably a ton of stops clustered there. So boom, all the stops trigger and I cover into it. And look, I'm not even that right in the trade. Fundamentally, it's trade. I have 100 shares left and it's trading, 20 cents below my price, and it's all come back. But I booked that 4,200. So that to me, this falls in my time frame. That's money. That's how you trade this current particular market where we're getting so many different news blasts every day. So yeah, that's what I've really been up to these past 6-7 days. Just give it a bebop boo, and all right, we're back. All right.
Sick recap, Jay.
Yeah. Oh man, that was crazy.
All right. Do you want to go over any of your top ideas for the week?
Yeah, I got to get to the drawing board. I haven't done crazy research at the end of the day yet. So right now, I like this PFPT that you mentioned earlier. That's the trade of the week right now. We're gonna see if that can, begin to get followed through. I like it to get a little tighter. With Thursday, it had that 7-point day where it held that 122. So we know 122 is the real out right now. So I didn't even try to buy this one yet because it's just, I know for my time frame, it's not even close because I'm like so intraday right now on that. And then, the market began to roll over the end of the day today. So I'm looking at this SE to the short side. It's got all moving averages on top, acting as resistance. Broke down like 7-8 days ago and has just been kind of bear flagging, bouncing off those moving averages, acting as resistance, as I mentioned. Below that 30 area, this looks like a pretty good short. I've been doing really well with these 1 and 2 day shorts. So, while they're good, I'm going to keep going after them.
Nice. All right. I think we covered everything. We can jump into book of the week.
Oh, for sure. Yo, hit me. You were telling me you really like this. So.
Yeah. So I've been reading this Lone Survivor. Most people I saw the movie with Mark Wahlberg. But just this book goes in detail through Operation Redwing and what these Navy SEALs had went through. Also the training and all the boot camp that they kind of have to go through, in detail, and just how it just breaks most guys. And it's just very humbling when you even for what we do, we're here to make money. And when the market's tough, we're some guys are complaining, some guys we're still doing what we got to do, but it's humbling to be okay, we're complaining about breakouts not working when these guys are getting shot 12, 13 times and they're still fighting. So it's just for us, it's just we have to stop being little bitches.
I got 10-cent slippage.
It's these guys in the San Diego River and the San Diego Bay swimming across it in 50-degree water. And it's just night and day stuff. But very, crazy read. It's, it gets pretty sad at certain points when, like, some of these guys start dying throughout the mission, but it's a crazy read. Definitely recommend.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you?
So I just reread this one. I haven't read it since our prop trading days. I forgot how good it was and how relevant it was. One Good Trade by Mike Belfiore. It's about SMB Capital Trading. They were kind of like the rival prop trading firm when we were coming up, and it's so funny because like it was so different than our experience, where it was just like completely cutthroat, every man for himself. Like he's like, they have all these characters in the book similar to the TE books, where we use our experiences, talk about traders and what we could learn off them. So it's really great for new traders. But it's so funny how they all built each other up. Everyone's on the same team. Everyone's best buddies. And when on our desk, it's like, what are you looking at? I was like, fuck you. What are you looking at? But great for the new trader. It has a lot of great lessons in it. For example, like for me, my shorter time frame, where I'm quickly taking profit in the short, like I showed today in that win. That's what I'm trying to do in my time frame. If that goes further, that's something I'm okay with. Because that was my game plan, was covering quickly into the pop. So it's just things like that are really good for peace of mind. Ton of lessons. Really, really like this one. I forgot how good it was, honestly. Mike Belfiore, One Good Trade.
Nice. All right, guys. Until next week. Good luck.
Next time.
All right.
All right.
Oh my God. For a second, I thought we weren't recording. I was like, oh, fuck.